Hey everyone, welcome back to Creative Callouts. I'm your host Giggila, and this episode I'm joined by a long-time creative creator. He is Atom Creates. Atom, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. So, let's jump straight into this. So you are the owner of Zeta Royale. What is Zeta Royale? Do you want to explain it to everyone?
Yes. It is a UEFN battle royale map that I have been making since August.
Yep.
It is planned to release this year. It's going to be like a normal sized custom BR map. It's going to be the sequel to my first 1.0 BR map, which was called Air Zero Royale.
Yeah.
I ended off Air Zero Royale in a weird place, and I'm planning to explain story stuff for that with a 3-part prologue series to the
Ooh.
Zeta Battle Royale map.
Nice. So, you did talk about Zero there. So when did you start making maps?
Um, I believe it was during Chapter 2, Season 6. I grew bored of the current Battle Royale game, so I started looking up creative Battle Royale maps, and I got into the creative BR community, and that's kind of when I started making my own maps.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was
And
it was Primal, so that's fair
I
enough.
yeah. um I ended up helping someone else with maps and map trailers for like a year and a half, 2 years. So I
Nice.
didn't really ever make my own maps. And after I parted ways with them, I started working on Air Zero, which came out I think almost 2 years ago.
Nice. So obviously you've seen the transition between 1.0 to 2.0. How have you found the differences between them?
Um 1.0 was is definitely a lot different than 2.0
Yeah.
cuz in 2.0 you have a lot more possibilities with the landscaping tool.
Yeah.
So it almost entirely changes how you make a BR map. In
Mm-hmm.
1.0, I would um be able to slap an entire landscape together within the matter of like a week or two.
Hmm.
And in 2.0 it's taking a lot longer than that because I want to make it as good as possible. So, yeah. It's been very different than 1.0 maps used to be.
Yeah, I mean, it does give us more possibilities, but it also means we have way more high standards to work to. And it gives us more
Yeah.
options to work with, to build with, and everything. Because now, if you look at the difference between 1.0 and 2.0, it's considering now we're a year into UEFN, you can see a massive difference
Mhm.
between how it started and how it is now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The UEFN has changed the Fortnite creative scene and the creative battle royale scene a lot.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot higher standards I think people are having now. Like people are
Mm.
having a lot higher standards for custom BR maps now since we have UEFN.
Yeah,
And
there's definitely a way higher standard nowadays for yeah, the higher quality of maps, and most maps can't get away with. There were so many issues with like 1.0's, like the design, a couple of the walls won't match up, or things like that. But now you
yeah,
can't make if you have a single error, people will pick up on it.
yeah. And that's also something that's hard about making UEFN maps.
Yeah.
When you miss something, people can be very critical about it
Hmm.
in the current community. And sometimes that's not even really your fault. It's the editor's fault because UEFN is like a very buggy mess, which is also
Yep.
another problem
Oh,
that
yeah.
I've been facing.
Oh, the amount of
Like,
issues.
yeah, like another BR just got delayed today. I've been
Oh.
like
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
sitting up, yeah,
Yeah.
I've been like sitting up late trying to help him fix it for the past 3 days,
Oof.
and it's still not fixed. Like 3 a.m. late.
Yeah. You're talking about X, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. So, those listening, X Royale had its new season unfortunately be delayed, which I know of in the works for ages, and it is a real shame. I believe the issues is HLODs. If, I think that's what it was.
Sort of, yeah.
I think that was one of the
It
issues.
was HLODs. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was HLODs. We sort of got it fixed. There was another problem with them, and now it's just creator portal issues. Like they're not accepting his map anymore.
Uh,
So
so yeah,
yeah,
it as good as a tool as UEFN can be, it can also be our greatest nightmare. As
yeah.
it's like working on Starfall. You, we are, as announced at CBR Direct, we have completed most of the map. There's still parts to fix and
Hmm.
finish up. I will say that it's not even close to completely done, but map wise, it is getting pretty close. But our one main issue right now is
Hmm.
HLODs, as I'm
Yeah.
not the only one having those issues. Um, as HLODs just seem to want to continue to break and not want to start working. It seems. But no, hopefully
Yeah.
not an issue for obviously your upcoming map with Zeta. Um, Obviously,
Hmm.
it's not always been called Zeta. It's only recently changed. You used to call it Project Errors.
Yeah.
Can you describe the name change behind that?
Project. Yeah. Yeah. So I announced the map as Project Eris as a code name because Eris is actually a Greek god, and I found the name interesting to use. So I codenamed the project Project Eris. And I feel like I wanted to reveal the name at the CBR Direct. And that's what I did.
Yeah, yeah, because changing
Yeah.
it from Project Ares obviously to Zeta Battle Royale definitely gives it back to that kind of Battle Royale style name and bring it into kind of
Yeah.
that. Correct me if I'm
Hmm.
wrong. Is this Greek Zeta?
Yes.
Yes.
Zeta is a Greek letter. I um take Greek as a second language. So I thought it would be interesting to incorporate that into my BR map.
Yeah. No, that could be very
So I
interesting.
named it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, carrying on with Zeta. After seeing some of the images for the map,
Hmm.
it looks really good. And to be fair, you do have a couple things in there which obviously I saw in one of your photos you had a hat statue, which made me laugh. That was very funny. Um,
Hmm.
and you also had
Yeah.
like some sort of vortex kind of thing. Um, it
Yeah.
was. Do you want to explain what that is?
Yeah. Um so if you okay, no, I guess you don't, but in the Air Zero map, there was this massive POI called the Cyclone. Because
Oh,
in season 2 of my map, the entire map lifted into the air and it's like basically a giant floating map now. I like did like a
oh wow.
big massive map overhaul change. And one of the new POIs was called the Cyclone, and it's basically this giant floating um um I don't know what to call it. I guess it's just a giant ship basically,
Yeah.
and it's floating on top of a bunch of clouds. And that vortex thing you see is their if you look what's generating it, that's the thing that made them the clouds to lift up their giant ship. And it's
Oh, okay.
been broken and it's sitting inside a skull, which is also from another POM map, Silent Skulls. It's inspired from
Nice.
a Legend of Zelda Bokoblin camp, if you know what that is.
Yeah, I've
Um
played Legend of Zelda.
yeah.
Yep.
It's like they've crashed into this new map. I don't want to say anything else to not spoil the story, but
Yeah, no,
um
that would be very exciting to see.
yeah.
As well, that does actually. It is very hard to come up with an original kind of storyline, but there is definitely elements of original storyline in yours, as no one's done entirely floating POIs. Um, I mean, completely
Mhm.
successfully. I know there have been floating POIs, but to have most of your map kind
Yeah.
of be the floating part, I don't think I've ever seen anyone
Yeah.
else do that. And to have
Mhm.
a cloud generator, I guess that's kind of its name, because if it's wait, I'm
Mhm.
going with cloud generator. um,
Yeah.
as it's definitely not in any other map I've seen or anything like that. So it is very original, and that is
Mhm.
credit to you.
Thank you.
But one thing I
Yeah.
will have questions on giving you credit is, as of today's recording, in a private server we were in, this man here decided to write out the entire Declaration of Independence. You're a madman. I there's no, I don't have follow-ups to it. I would just like it to be publicly known that this man has written out the entire Declaration of Independence, which makes him one of the founding fathers
Hey
at this
man.
point.
Hey man, when I'm dedicated to do something, I'm gonna do it. Like
Yeah, hey,
it
I
started as a joke. Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't have a
Yeah.
follow-up question to that. I just wanted that to be public knowledge that this here has written out the entire Declaration of Independence, and massive credit to him for it. But he's a madman. Um, but no, I mean,
Mhm.
obviously, you talked about this community, this mini BL community that obviously it's been around for ages, but obviously it's going through many changes. And how have
Mhm.
you found working within this community?
Um I haven't um been around like as an independent creator in the community for like super long as a lot of these other creators, but like what I found, especially after there's a situation today, I don't want to go into detail, but like the community can be very unaccepting of
Hmm.
like a minor flaw in your map,
Oh yeah.
but there are a lot of good people in the community that are actually, nice, give you real feedback. So I'm happy to have some friends in the community that can do that. So like, like Funko Nico and Dubbin,
Yep.
those people, those are kind of like some of my friends. They're very helpful to me, and I probably wouldn't be in this community if if I wasn't friends with them. So
Yeah. No, it's the same with me. I've got a great team of people that I'm with, and people now that I consider friends. And I wouldn't have been in this community if I didn't actually start just working with them a little bit and just checked out their kind of map. And
yeah.
because originally I was at the time of meeting them, I was signed to Locky Studios. Once again, bring a bit of flashback. And
Mm-hmm.
while working there, I was introduced to Lytton, OJ, and Atch. Obviously, those three, they're the dev team for Starfall. And from there, we kind of I started helping them out, especially in chapter 2, as I helped with as much as I physically could before my laptop kind of exploded a bit and just stopped working.
Yeah.
But once again,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for breaking laptop. The amount of times this laptop has been threatened to be thrown out of a window is incredible. Um, but
I can I can relate
yeah,
with UEFN. I've wanted to break some things so many times,
yep.
but
Oh, it
yeah,
is. I love technology.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
there's technology.
yeah.
It is something else,
Technology.
this technology. Sometimes it works completely great. Other times, how do I put this? It makes me want to be the one exploding instead of the laptop. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the amount of
There's
times
also something I
it's
want to add.
gone. Yeah,
Yeah. Technology about that topic in UEFN.
yeah.
Like, I wanted to break stuff so many times. Like, my computer has blue screened 3 times
Oof.
in the past week
Oh,
from UEFN.
yikes.
I, yeah,
Yeah, I've had a couple blue screens. Not from actually UEFN, mainly
yeah.
because my laptop
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't like UEFN in general. But
Yeah.
I haven't
Mm-hmm.
had a blue screen due to it. But no, I've known
Yeah.
while working because I mainly work 1.0. I can't do much for 2.0.
Yeah.
Um, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm normally in sessions with the team and working with them, and sometimes it'll just crash out of nowhere, disconnect, or something like that. And considering at
Yeah.
this point a
Yeah. Yeah.
NASA computer probably needs to run it fully, um, I'm surprised our computers do at all. Um,
Yeah.
unless we're talking like the supercomputers or something like that, we are outmatched greatly. Um,
Yeah.
UFN,
Mm-hmm.
I love you and I hate you. Um, I guess this is what it's like to be in a
I think,
relationship. Um,
yep, I think everyone can agree.
oh no, it is it's something
Yeah.
else. But no, UEFN
Mm-hmm.
recently just turned 1 year old, I guess. So I guess that's a round of applause to
Mm-hmm.
UEFN. But it also means it
Yep.
is still very new. But even though it's still very new,
Yeah.
people have taken great steps at learning it
Yeah.
and understanding it. As there are people in this community
Yeah.
who just understand
Yeah.
quite a fair bit of verse, despite it only being out for about a year. And
Yeah.
it is something that is very impressive
It's
verse, but it's
yeah.
also very annoying.
And it's actually yeah. It's kind of exciting to think about because how Epic announced that they're going to be moving Fortnite Battle Royale seasons to UEFN
Oh
in the
yes,
next year, like
yeah,
2025.
that
That's going to be
is.
very interesting
Mm,
for the CBR community.
yes, no, I think it's gonna be something
Yeah.
that is. At first, I did see the community weren't kind of liking it, thinking that the quality of them are gonna drop and everything like that. But if you really think of it, that means Epic is gonna put more into UEFN, so it can actually
Yeah.
come out as a product where we can make VRs on the same level as Epic and make our own fully fleshed
Yeah.
stuff. And while we won't have Actually, by that point, we will. We will have custom weapons and that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Um,
Apparently, custom weapons are coming in like the next couple months.
yeah, Q2, I think it is.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, Q2.
I'll throw a picture up on the screen for the roadmap for this year. But
Yeah.
no, with what they've announced, and they've announced the first person camera. They released Lego and Rocket Racing to UEFN, which is very exciting. Um,
Hmm.
as also the galleries for them look pretty good, I
Yeah.
do have to say. I'm annoyed that the hitboxes on most of the Rocket Racing stuff is terrible, though. Most
Yeah,
of
they're like severely broken.
Yeah, it's like you have a ladder
Yeah.
going up to a platform, and you can mantle on the ladder technically, and then you're met with an invisible wall. Thank you, Epic.
Yeah.
I was actually excited to see them as they were really cool pieces and that sort of thing, and then you walk into them and you get met
Hmm.
with an invisible wall, which is annoying.
Yeah.
Some of the pieces are actually pretty
It
good,
is very annoying.
but
Yeah.
no, most of them are pretty good. But then there's the other half of the materials,
Yeah.
and well,
Yep.
that's me also threatening to throw those galleries out the window. Um, if you can't tell, I have a tendency to
Yeah.
throw things out of windows, it seems. Um,
Hmm.
then again, I think it's deserved for these things. Um,
Yeah, it is.
yeah, but no, I I think it has come a long way from what it was in 1.0 with having under 100 galleries to start, barely any devices. You didn't even have the Storm device when it first came out, and
Yeah.
you didn't have things like triggers. You didn't have things like all the like timers,
Hmm.
everything we have now. Considering how far we've
Yeah.
come, it is a great
Hmm.
step. Actually, it's a marathon distance at this point. It is so far apart
Yeah.
that it is really impressive that Epic have been able to do this. And yes, they are a multi-billion-dollar company, but it's still impressive.
Yeah. Very
So
impressive.
yeah, but no, I mean, you're now you're being able to utilize this, and you've been able to start getting
Hmm.
your map out there. Is there a potential release date for this? Any windows or
I've thought about it a lot. I've I've been saying, I think almost since the start of making it, it'll come out this year. That's I'm thinking more towards Q3, Q4 this year because
yeah,
the way I have to develop the map, and I also have to make that prologue series that I announced.
yeah,
Um I have a feeling it'll be Q4 2024, but it could come earlier depending on how fast I'm able to finish the map. Just depends on, you know, a lot of factors.
yeah? No, that's fair enough. I mean, obviously, it is difficult building these maps and taking everything into account. It does take a lot to develop and make and to just put out there as
Yeah.
working maps. Anyone can put out a
Mhm.
map that doesn't work, but it takes a really good
Yeah.
creator to make something that's really good and plays really well. So,
Mhm.
no, it is going to be really exciting to see what you can do. I am looking forward to seeing what you do. I could
Mhm.
recommend
I
taking a
appreciate
day
it.
off of writing the Independence, but apart from that, I am looking forward to seeing what you do.
I
So,
appreciate it.
is there anything you want to get out there? Anything you want to say?
Um, I guess not. I think that's mostly all I had to say.
No, that's good. Anything you want to plug?
Except, yeah, sure. YouTube channel, Adam Creates. Twitter page, and Creates, and my BR page. You can find it from my not personal, but my account Twitter page. It's Project Eris BR, and yeah, you can get all updates on the map there.
Nice. Yeah, all of these will be in the
Yeah.
description as normal. But thank you
Mhm.
for coming on today. Um, this is our most
Yep.
impromptu episode ever. I will say that, as
Yeah.
we've been talking for about. I think this is our first full conversation together, and
Yeah.
we started talking
Yeah.
about an hour ago, and
Mhm.
we just put this together. So thank you so much for coming on today and taking the time out.
I appreciate having this opportunity.
No, it's a pleasure. All right. And thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.